Good evening. Steve Walls here alongside Darren Smith inside of G.E.H.A Field at Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs fall to the Buffalo Bills 27-21.
No, 20 to 17.
20 to 17. Oh, I'm all flustered, man. 20 to 17. Darren, man, what'd you see from this team today?
I don't know, man. I it's hard because we've had these conversations post-game, pre-game, and I have said it, and I said last week on our radar that if the Chiefs had to score a touchdown, had to score a touchdown to win the game, I wasn't confident in them succeeding. Now they would have proved me wrong.
Yeah,
had some things, had the official not said that Kadarius Toney was lined up offside, so it ended up, of course, being the case. But overall, it baffles me because, especially in the fourth quarter, it's a lot of situational football that the Chiefs coaching staff is failing at, and I just can't wrap my hands around. I know we got a chance to talk to a couple of players after the ball game to get their thoughts on what Andy has said to them in post game, and then just their mind frame, losing 3 of the last 4 games in the manner in which they have, which is a situation within itself. So I don't really know how to answer that question because I don't know what this team is at the moment.
You know what? And you talked about them losing past, 3 games. And you saw the frustration. All I can say is a word that I'm thinking of is frustration. You saw it from Chris Jones during the game, at the ref. You saw it
at the coaches.
At the coaches. Then you saw it from Patrick. We've never seen Patrick Mahomes like that.
And not directed towards an official.
Not directed for this. But all that to be said, there's a lot of frustration right now on this team.
But again, the question is, when you talk about the frustration, where's it coming from? How do you pinpoint it, and how do you fix it? Because look, I mean, it's one thing to be frustrated at that particular point in time, situation of football.
Yeah.
But the problem is that whatever's going on, whether it's the drops, the coach, and Patrick overthrowing the football, there's a lot going on that. Look, I don't know if it's time for a players only meeting. I mean, I don't know if that's going to do anything. But I will say that, speaking to Justin Reed, which I agree with, everyone from Andy on down needs to do some self-examination, because there's a lot of things that we can see on the outside and even from 30,000 feet, but until they acknowledge it and fix it, it could, and especially when you see where now the Denver Broncos, I believe, are 1 game behind the Chiefs now. And so that's, you're going to put yourself in a situation where you don't have to worry about home field advantage, because you're going to have to play the games on the road. And if you don't get things straightened out right away, you could find yourself on the outside of the playoffs.
Yeah, and here's the thing about this team right now. And I've been thinking about this last few weeks. There's not very many players on this team right now that are used to losing. If you think about it, since 2019, they
2018, but yeah.
I mean, just think about from 2019 to current. There's not many guys on this team that have gone through the losses that the team went through from 2013 to 2018.
Well,
in a Bob Sutton defense. I'm just saying.
That's a name that should not be spoken. Going further, I will say that the only thing that I can put in the same context of this is 2021, I think, when they started off when they were 3-4, and because they had a bad embarrassing loss to Tennessee,
of course,
and I think they ran off into the playoffs, and I think that was the season that they lost to Cincinnati in the AFC Championship game. But that's the closest correlation that I can say of how this team is looking right now.
Yeah.
This of course happened early in the season because it was the first 7 games of the season before they ran off and got home for the advantage and how it ended. But this happened towards the end of the season. This isn't really like an Andy Reid led team, because generally in December is where they start winning, getting better as you get better towards the start of the playoffs. And that's a concerning effort, is that they're going backwards instead of forward.
Yeah, I mean, you get spurts, right? You get spurts from the offense where it's like, oh man, well, where is this offense from?
Yeah.
And Chiefs fans, we know, we see your posts, we see your frustration as well with this team, because you look at a guy like MVS, you look at a guy like Kadarius Toney, Richie James, Sky Moore. These are veteran guys. You don't have a lot of. I mean, there's youth on this team, but you don't have a lot of Rashee Rice, first year guys.
Yeah. Well, look, it's not for me to really be out there defending these veterans because they can do that themselves. But people are frustrated at MVS. But as I mentioned in the pregame show, he's got to get the attempts to at least, the targets to at least try to. Yeah. I mean, I know he had 2 catches for 22 yards. Sky only had 1 target today. He didn't have any catches and receptions, and I think it was a couple of the players that had like 1 catch or something like that. So again, as I mentioned before, they might need to limit the rotation of the receivers, to where you can, instead of trying to get everybody to football, trying to be pass happy and trying to get everybody involved, focus on a select core and just run with that offense from there. Because right now, again,
but let me ask you something.
Let me say the defense is giving you Travis Kelce. Like they gave you Travis Kelce today, but again, they're trying to tell you we'll let you try to do something with the other receivers, and we see what's happening with that.
But you mentioned the core, but who is that core? Because you think about it, I mean, you talk about Sky Moore, you talk about Kadarius Toney, Richie James.
And these are starters that are putting up.
I mean, you could throw, even though he's injured, but you can throw McCole in there. You can still talk about Travis Kelce. Who is the core? Because I mean, right now nobody is really in that core.
If you're asking me, I would have to say Rashee Rice. I would have to say Travis Kelce. You might have to go with a two tight end set.
But that's really not your offense, though.
Look, man. So sometimes you got to do things that it's not their offense. But again, how are you going to get better? Because obviously, what's working, ain't working.
Yeah, but it's a rough situation to be in because I mean you're coming down to the end of the season and now you get into a position where, like you said, you don't want to be on the outside looking in. And I don't think it'll get that bad. I mean, you still have some games, but I mean, you got the Chargers coming up. You still got New England. You got some get right games that you can that can.
But the Packers should have been a good. I mean, look. Look. First of all, you're down 14-0. You actually get the lead 17-4. Well, you tie 17-14, and you have a chance again. This is what bothers me, and we talked about it. We talked a little bit before the game ended. You get the defense helps you get the ball back. 8 minutes left to go in the ball game.
Yeah.
You throw 3 straight passes that end up being incompletions or what have you, and the clock is stopped. They get the ball back on a punt with 7 minutes left to go in the ball game. What do? They eat the clock by running, by just running an offense, and they take it down under 2 minutes,
and they helped them out.
Who?
The Buffalo Bills helped them out when they got down into the red zone. There was I think 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, and they threw the ball continuously to allow the Chiefs. I mean, before they kicked the field goal and to get down to the 2-minute warning, so they helped the Chiefs out a lot.
Well, yeah, but the Chiefs have hurt themselves with the pass interference call.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, but what I'm saying is, Buffalo did the smart thing. By running offense that took 5 minutes off the clock. They had a chance. The Chiefs had a chance with 8 minutes to go. Just try to run essentially just what Buffalo did.
Yeah.
Just run the football, pass when you needed to, or whatever, and they didn't. They always get so pass happy that again I don't play calling again. There's a lot of self-examination that needs to go on, but when you have 8 minutes left to go in the ball game and you're throwing 3 straight passes, like you're in the lead.
Yep.
And you're trying to, again, they could have done the same thing the Buffalo did, run the clock down, kick a field goal, or get a touchdown, and then let them try to, So it's, it's mad and frustrating. And this is like, if we see it from way up there, how can nobody, or how can the coaches, nobody else figure this out?
Yeah, and here's another thing about it, too. You get this team, and my X factor was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? Filling in for the injured Isaiah Pacheco was a starter.
I think you ran for like 39 yards.
But that was all first half. Second half, you really didn't run the football that much. You had some good opportunities from Jerick McKinnon. We didn't see that anymore in the second half.
I mean, look, we talk about it, man. No matter how well it looks like they're running the football.
Yeah.
They always go back to the past. And look, I get it, but 2022, this ain't that same team.
Yeah.
And so, look, I mean, you can hope that next week is a good get right game, but I'm pretty sure the Pittsburgh Steelers thought that last week after losing Arizona, going to New England, and New England set them back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even going to New England is not a guaranteed win anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Look, what does this team go from here? I mean, when they go to New England next week, I mean, and you know, Bill Belichick always has an eye against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I mean, that's since the Tom Brady era. So what do they do?
Well, first of all, they definitely going to look to play the role of spoiler because I mean, they don't. I mean, they're not playing for a playoff spot. So,
yeah, they don't have
so yeah. So you have. I mean, you can throw everything out there against Kansas City. Now, luckily, this is a 1:00 game where they flex it out of the Monday night game. So,
rightfully so.
Right. Look, maybe it's a good thing that maybe the whole country won't see this game. So, if I'm New England, man, I'm throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at the Chiefs and see what because right now, the Chiefs are. This is like in the seventh round for them where they, where they're having haymakers thrown at them, and they just don't know what to do. I mean, they don't know if they need to block, they need to duck, so. I don't know, man. I mean, Kansas City got to get that together, man. And like I said, it starts with Andy Reid on down, where they got to do some self-examination. Patrick as well. And look, and I'm gonna say this, and it might not come out good, but people got to stop making it seem like Patrick Mahomes is playing well. Yeah. He's not.
Threw interception, it cost me an interception.
Yeah, I mean, and on opening drive.
Yep.
And but not only that, I mean, he's throwing the ball into the dirt, trying to get it to the receiver. I mean, when the ball is thrown short or behind it, he's throwing it to the dirt. That's a quarterback. That's not even a wide receiver. That's a quarterback thing. Mm-hmm. So I mean, so to put all the blame on the receivers, people got to stop that because Patrick Mahomes is just not playing well this season.
Yeah, I mean the offense as a whole, man. I just feel like
I
see what you're saying.
People are using the wide receivers as a scapegoat and making it seem like, well, Mahomes can't catch the ball too. Well, Mahomes has to throw it where the receivers can catch it.
Okay, I mean, look, you get an offense like this going up against the defense. Like, I mean, the Chiefs had the Buffalo Bills on the heels. Yeah, the momentum swung towards the Chiefs' way, and they just couldn't finish it.
Here's the thing. We keep saying it. If the offense ain't putting points on the board, you're putting more pressure on the defense. The offense was on the field first.
Yeah. They
had the interception. So now the defense comes out there. I'm not saying they weren't prepared, so to speak, but but their offense came down. Now, if I remember correctly, I think the offense came down to score right away. I think it might have been the second drive, but it could have been first. I'm just
first drive.
Okay, first drive. But you know what I'm saying? But then offense gets a chance to do it again.
Yeah.
It was 3-and-out. I mean, so again, now they were down 14-0 first quarter, but they only scored 6 points the rest of the way. I think it was 2 field goals or just it was 2 field goals the rest of the game.
The Bills,
yes. And so now they scored the 14 points in the first quarter. That was it, minus the field goals the rest of the game. But if the offense, this high-powered offense that we supposedly have, if they can't get things going, I mean, it's just putting more pressure on the defense. And the defense, as I told you, Josh Allen will give you a chance. He'll give you the ball, but he'll give you a chance. I mean, he had an interception. The team had 3 sacks against the Bills, but offense can't capitalize on it.
And this offensive team, to me, just feels like they're not able to close. The defense gets you the ball back with a minute. What was it? Right under 2 minutes going, in the fourth quarter, go down and win the game. You had the opportunity. Now, granted, that play where and I want to talk to you about that. The play where the ref called Kadarius Toney offsides. Why wasn't it called? They let the play continue on. I think that was what the players were talking about in the locker room.
Was that a late flag that they threw after the touchdown was?
It was normally when the offense is lined up wrong or they would throw a flag and. So that was the confusion from the lot of players in the locker room. It's like, well, if he's lined up offsides, when the ball is snapped, why didn't y'all say anything? Why didn't you continue on? Get us down there. Heck of a play by Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
that was a heck of a play.
It was a heck of a play, and it was a heady play. The only pushback I would give you on that, Steve, is that as a wide receiver, you are always taught when even in motion, whatever, that you check with the official. So I mean, that's the only pushback I would give, because I don't know. I'm not saying I would have called it, but again, because they said the blue line, but obviously you can't see the blue line of the players. So you presume that you were lined up. So I would have let it go, but that's just me, because I would have just presumed he was lined up.
And Andy Reid, this is the first time that I've heard Andy Reid post game go at the referees, go at the officials. He went at the NFL as well. So that just shows me. That shows me and everyone else the level of frustration that this team has right now.
But again, but here's the thing: you're using the refs as a scapegoat.
That's 2 weeks in a row, though, Darren.
But Steve, but as we talked about, you shouldn't be in the situation to begin with.
I understand that.
Because if you don't throw three passes with 8 minutes left to go in the ball game, you're not in the situation. Buffalo got the ball back with seven minutes because you didn't take no time off the clock, and they ate the clock up and they went down and scored a field goal. That's coaching. That's not the official. That's coaching.
CMC on YouTube says dudes are dropping passes right in their hands. I agree with that. Teron Young says truth. QB15 has regressed. The dirt balls were troublesome. The pick was on him. The early deep balls were odd, and he needs to demand what personnel he wants in the game, like Rodgers or Brady. Yeah, I mean the top QBs tells what they want. So I mean he tells us every week that he trusts these wide receivers. I mean, I don't know how you trust that.
But see, here's the thing. The pushback would be simple. Bruh, you throwing the ball in the dirt. So you're not even putting the ball to where I can catch it in motion.
Yeah.
And because look, we've seen other games. I mean, I'm pretty sure during the Dallas Philly game, Dak is probably throwing if he's throwing the ball to CD is in motion and is in stride where he's not trying to catch the ball or get the ball in the dirt or whatever and try to the ball's behind him. He's trying to keep his balance or something. Come on, man. That's it goes both ways.
And the question from Chiefs fans and Chiefs Kingdom and the people that are watching is, where do they go from here? Is this right now? If you ask me, this isn't a Super Bowl contending team. They're not. No. It's just not. I don't. This is a team that can get beat in the first round of playoffs.
I think they can win the first game. Barely.
I don't know.
Barely. But if they have to go on the road second game, I'm not quite sure. But again, I said this before, and I said this over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If Patrick Mahomes has the ball with 2 minutes left to go in the ball game, I don't think he win the game.
Now. Yeah.
Well, I said a few weeks ago. I said that to the Philly game because hell, they had a 10-point lead, they blew that.
Yeah. I mean, you always have this thought in the back of your head, like, oh, well, 15 is able to do this. 15 is able to do that.
We had that coming out of the Super Bowl. This year ain't been the same. Ever since the first
personnel. You can't blame that on Patrick Mahomes because you think about the past, both times to MVS, they were right on the money. They were right there. Yeah. And today, I mean, he got the ball to where it needed to get to. So, I mean, you can't say that, 15 can't get it done. I still feel like there's a little inkling of
15 can get it done, but I need 15 to get it done in the first, second, and third quarter.
I agree.
So we don't have to worry about the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We do that, we good.
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs fall 20-17.
We'll have more further conversation tomorrow night on the Red Hour.
G.E.H.A field inside of Arrowhead Stadium. Steve Walls, Darren Smith. This is a head scratcher, man. The Chiefs fall to 8-6?
8-5.
8-5. Wow. And here's the thing about that. And we can close after this. Did you have this team going undefeated this season?
No, actually, I did. Thankfully,
okay.
Because I lost a lot.
Okay.
No, I did.
Okay.
You know that? All right. I had been 14-3, so trying to go 12-5 is still worse for me.
I mean, well, even if this team goes 12-5, because I had them going 13-4.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to win every game, no matter what it looks like. If this is the only 5 games that they lose,
the games that I thought they were losing would be early. But here's the thing: a part of me should have realized that again, because we've talked about it before. They lose to Buffalo in the regular season. They just beat them in the postseason. That's now. Kansas City has that win that they had during the COVID year in 2020 up there.
And I agree with Teron Young. He said we know 15 can get it done. He's not getting it done now. Agreed.
Yeah.
Lamar Wallace said, "How we doing tonight, fellas?" I mean, we're doing fine. I don't know about Chiefs Kingdom. I think Chiefs Kingdom ready to burn the house down, man. I really do.
My parlays are killing. I need Dallas Philly to come through for me tonight. Jeez.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Remember, you can follow myself at Steve Walls KC on all social media platforms. Darren, what your
at Darren Smith NFL.
At Darren Smith NFL. So remember, like us, follow us, watch us. We'll be live from
studio tomorrow.
Studio. I'm talking next week for Chiefs.
Oh, Foxborough.
Yep.
Gillette Stadium.
Gillette Stadium is where we'll be. Remember, you can find us the pregame cheat sheet 1 hour prior to every NFL football, every Chiefs football game. So,
and then the red hour tomorrow night.
The red hour. Yep, the red hour. You can watch myself, Darren Smith, along with Sean Tyler, and also DJ Q. We'll be live from the Sideline Sports Talk studio at Hy-Vee Arena. Remember, catch us, like us on all social media platforms. Until tomorrow, we are out of here.
We really need Philly to lose so we can so Q can feel like us.
And Lamar Wallace said Chiefs King about to have a Civil War. I hope not. I got to get home.
All right. You got to watch the game. We out.
Well, being sick is one thing.